Hello everyone, and welcome to the Fictional Vortex. So we are back with an interesting movie on what if Naruto become a master of most powerful bloodline. But before we start, I just want to remind you to please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you enjoy my content. Let's start the story. Settings. After the Chunin preliminaries finals. Kakasuki-sensei, I need a favor, a blonde boy with an orange jumpsuit said as he's hopping around. Don't say another word, Naruto. I can't train you, a masked one-eyed Jonin said. Why not? But before Kakashi could answer, Naruto figured it out. Hey, you're going to train Sasuke, aren't you? Naruto shouted. Naruto, shut up. You're in the hospital, said a voice from behind. Sakura-chan, what are you doing here? Naruto asked, looking at the pink-haired girl. She looked at him like it was the most offensive thing she has ever heard. I'm here to see Sasuke-kun. I mean, he is the one that saved us from Orochimaru, she said with a matter-of-fact tone. What are you talking about? If it wasn't for me, Sasuke would be dead right now. If it wasn't for me, we wouldn't have made it to the finals. Naruto yelled with anger. I highly doubt that you alone got your scroll to pass the exam. You have a lot of stamina, but you're not that strong, Kakashi said without thinking. Sakura just nodded. Naruto was right, but she didn't want to admit it. So she stayed quieted. But Naruto said with a little pain in his eyes. That's enough, Naruto. If you could barely beat Kiba, how am I supposed to believe that you got the scroll without help? Kakasuki said, looking up from his book, giving his student a glare. Please, Naruto, do not lie to me, Kakashi said, looking back down at his book. Naruto was shaking with rage. I mean, how could he? But maybe there was hope, maybe. Sakura-chan, she saw a glimmer of pain in his eyes but dismissed it as figure it was her imagination. I mean, come on, Naruto, feeling bad, really. She turned her head, unknown of what she just did. At that point Naruto felt many emotion: pain, disbelief, anger, and finally heartbreak. Disbelief. How the hell can they not believe me? Anger. Those basters. Sakura saw what happened. Pain. I guess she really isn't my friend. I guess I really am alone. Heartbreak. How could she do this? I loved her. So it's true, I really don't have any friends. I guess I really am alone. So put bluntly, he felt like shit. With that, his mask was shattered beyond repair. They were expecting a combat from him, but all they got was nothing but a sound of dripping water. It felt like an eternity when he lifted his heads up from the shadows of his hair. The looks in his eyes sent a cold rush through their body. The look in his eyes could freeze hell over. In a heartbeat, everybody in the hospital felt a massive killer intent that could be felt all the way to Sound Oto. This can't be Naruto. His killer intent is massive, Sakura thought to herself as she fell to her knees. This is incredible. So powerful. This isn't even the Kyuubi's, this all Naruto's. It's so powerful I can even see the aura, Kakashi thought as he watched the hellfire surrounding Naruto. A crowd was made. Every ninja in the village stood there. A reddish-black aura was surrounding Naruto like hellfire. Naruto was beyond pissed, but his face didn't show it. His face showed no emotions, which scared the hell out of everyone. What got people were his eyes. They weren't his natural deep ocean blue. They were a mix of black and purple. In the center was a red swirl spinning with all its beauty. Naruto, Sakura said, shaky. He turned his head slowly at Sakura. She was scared out of her mind. I'm so sorry, she stuttered. His look didn't change. All the hatred was on his tear-stained face. Naruto, please don't look at me like that. We're friends, remember? Sakura said in a pleading voice. Where was the dope that used to like her? Friends, Sakura. Everyone was quiet on edge. Even the Hokage was on edge. He himself can't even put up a killer intent that powerful. You don't know what it means to be a friend to someone. I've tried to be your friend, but now I know that someone like you are unable to have friends. In other words. He tilted his head back so everyone could see his eyes. He spoke the 7 words that broke her heart. I regret calling you my friend, and with that he calmly walked through the door. He stopped at the door and turned his head over his shoulder, staring completely at Kakashi. Kakashi, you always said, those who break the rules and regulation are trash, but those who don't care about their companions are worse than trash. Congratulations. Naruto glared at him hotly, you trash. And with that he walked out the door. A lone tear rolled down Kakashi's face while Sakura was on her knees crying. Not one moment did they think that Naruto would take this so seriously. Those eyes, EY could see every bad thing they did to the blonde. They all thought the same thing at the same time. I'm sorry, Naruto. Nobody noticed that a purple-haired genin was long gone from her stay at the hospital. On the outside he smiled no matter what. Always positive that things will change for him. A sunshine of hope. On the inside however, he was in pain. Lonely and hurting. Today his smile didn't show. All the happiness that always brightens the day was gone and replaced by grief and endless pain that lies in his heart. Right now he was sitting in the woods remembering all of the lies his so-called friends gave to him. He looked back at his life and could only feel empty at it. The life of pain and heartache. The sky cried. For Naruto. It was like the gods themselves cried for Naruto's endless pain. Naruto felt something he hadn't felt for a long time. Tears. He promised himself he wouldn't cry ever again, and for a while he once thought he forgot how to cry. Today he felt like he was in great pain beyond belief. He had to scream out all the pain he had collected over the years. Ah, this is so stupid. Why am I always in pain? It's not fair. Why damn it? Why did you seal the Kyuubi in me? I understand you could beat it, but why me? I've been hated, feared, abused, and mistreated. Kami, what in the nine hells do you want from me? I don't have anything left to give. Naruto whispered the last part to himself. He was tired of feeling this pain. Tired of the cold he felt going down his back. He had to let it out. He pushed all the negative emotions in his whole body and let it out. One word could describe what happened next. Boom. Naruto. A purple-haired girl with white eyes screamed for the person she loves explodes. She ran into the woods to hopefully talk to Naruto. But what she found was a big crater, and I mean a big crater. It took up half of the woods. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun. She got no answer, just smoke blown into her face. Byakugan. She looked everywhere for him. Where is he? There. She yelled to herself as she ran to him with speed that could put the fourth Hokage to shame. When she reached him he was on his hands and knees painting. Naruto-kun, are you alright? She was too scared to stutter. He never answered her question. Naruto-kun, please answer me. Still nothing. Answer. Naruto, please answer me. I don't like you like this. Please, I love you too much. I always loved you, I was just scared to tell you. I love you, Naruto. She broke down in a loving hug and cried on his shoulder. How could you love me? I'm a monster. A demon, he said in an emotionless voice. Slap. Could be heard all around the forest. Don't you dare say that ever again. You are not a monster or a demon, you're the blonde knuckled-headed ninja I fell in love with. Hinata said with a stern voice. Naruto looked at Hinata with an awe expression while holding his bruised cheek. But he was shut up by a passionate kiss. She put all the love she has for him into it. He stiffed at first, but kissed back with all that he had. It lasted for a few minutes, but it felt like hours. When they broke away she said one thing was loved. Naruto-kun, I will always love you. You are my Naruto-kun. With that he fell asleep from chakra depletion in her arms while she ran her hands through his hair. Naruto Pav. Where am I? I remember that I was with Hinata. And she told me that she loved me. Then she kissed me and, that's all I remember. Naruto thought to himself. I've always played the fool, but I'm actually pretty smart. I'd always had to fake being the idiot to get attention. I didn't have many friends and I was always alone. I didn't want that anymore. I have Hinata now, so I will never be alone. I don't know how long I've been sitting there in her arms, but I didn't care. I like her, no scratch that I love her. Move than I ever loved. Sakura, I want to stay with her more than ever. Hinata, I said in a monotone voice. Yes, Naruto-k. She asks with confidence in her voice. It didn't matter if he didn't choose her. She would never leave his side. I think I'm falling in love with you. And Naruto's Pav. Hinata's Pav. Normal Pav. Naruto-kun, what happened to your eyes back at the hospital? Hinata asked. My eyes. What are you talking about, Hina-chan? Hinata blushed at the nickname but still pressed on. Naruto turning his Add to the side like a fox that looked very cute to Hinata. Hinata seemed to understand this. Naruto-kun, could you please put a little bit of charka in your eyes please? Naruto nodded and added a little charka into his eyes. Naruto-kun, please follow me, Hinata said while walking up to a puddle left by the rain. To Naruto everything stopped. It was like every 10 seconds something moved, but it was very slow. He could also predict most of what's going on around him. His eyesight was clearer than it used to be. He realized he wasn't getting anywhere if Hinata couldn't keep up with him, so he cut the charka to his eyes and followed Hinata. When Naruto got to the puddle, he added the same amount of charka to his eyes and looked at his reflection. What the hell is that? Naruto screamed at his new discovery. Hinata was a little shaken up from the scream. She didn't think he would do that. "And Naruto, it may be your bloodline," Hinata said with a small voice. My bloodline," Naruto said with astonishment in his voice. "Do you know the name of it, Naruto-kun?" She too was amazed at his eyes. They were purple and black that seemed to dance around like fire. The swirl in the middle was blood red that seemed to hold so much power. Naruto stood up and looked at Hinata with a kind of smile and said, "Let's go find out, shall we?" Hinata nodded and moved out to the Hokage's office. Time shift. 5 minutes. Hokage's office. "Naruto, are you feeling any better?" the old man said while smoking his pipe. "I'm fine," he said as he put one of his arms around Hinata. I'm good." Putting a blushed O in Hinata's face and getting a chuckle from the old man. "Now that that's done with, I have 5 things to ask you," Naruto said in a serious voice. "What is it?" Hiruzen asked, already knowing what he was going to ask. "My first request is to leave Team 7 under Kakashi Hatake," Naruto said in a professional voice. The Hokage knew why but played dumb. Why? Because Kakashi only trains Sasuke and never me or Sakura. How can I become Hokage if he never trains me? There's a good reason why I really don't care what your excuse is. If he was ordered to, then so be it, but that doesn't stop anyone to give me a scroll. Not only that, if he was ordered to, then Sasuke should have been his apprentices instead of hindering both mine and Sakura's skills. I think I proved my point. Okay, I'll allow you to if you pass the exams. Fine, thank you. My second request is that I want to know about my parents, but that can wait until after the meeting. My third request is that I want any inheritance that my family left. Fourth, I wish to leave the village to train for the exams. Those two, something he wasn't expecting but didn't think about it too much. The THIRD nodded. I will allow you to leave the village. Naruto nodded his head. Thank you. My fifth request is I would like a sensei to come with me. Sarutobi nodded. Fine, there's somebody at the hot springs that can train you. Naruto gave him a kind smile. Thank you. The old man pulled out 5 scrolls from under his desk. One Naruto recognized. Here, Naruto. The third, though not a gold scroll to him. Hinata read over his shoulder. Yeah, you forgot about her, didn't you? Dear Naruto, I'm so sorry for what I did to you. I never wanted to seal the Kyuubi into you. I wanted you to be viewed as a hero, but I know deep in my heart you will be mistreated. The reason you were never told this or given your real last name, which is Namikake, is because I had a lot of enemies after me and they wouldn't hesitate to kill you. Your mother's name is Kushina Uzumaki. She was a Sannin for the village hidden in the air. She was a very powerful woman. Actually, everyone from air is very powerful. If I faced off against the cage, which was Kushina's father at the time, I wouldn't even touch him even with my speed. Damn, son, your mother and I love you so much. If you haven't guessed it, I am the 4th Hokage. No shit, my name is Minato Namikaze. Your father. I leave you my forbidden scroll to learn from along with some others. Also, you have my house and my money I saved, and plus the amount your mom sends to you every year. Eyes widened. Take care and be strong, Naruto. Love. Minato Namikaze Yondaime Hokage. A tear rolled down Naruto's and Hinata's face. Hinata hugged Naruto from behind. Thank you for showing me this, Oji-san. The old Sandaime smiled. You're welcome. Now are you ready for the next scroll? Naruto nodded his head, waiting for the next scroll. The third, though a light blue scroll to Naruto. It said, Dear Naruto, I'm sorry I had to leave you. I really wanted to take you with me, but I believed in what Minato said. I hope you were raised right. Naruto, if you ever want to see me, just ask a man named Jiraiya. Your bloodline is called Shengan. This bloodline is very powerful. Your eyesight improved 15%. Your eyes are like a scanner. When you lock eyes with someone, you can read their minds. This gives us the perfect way to attack our opponent and know what attack they have in their arsenal. Not only that, we are able to cancel genjustice on us with ease. Not many from our clan can do genjutsu, mainly because of our large chakra reserve and liking we have Chunin jutsu. Don't think just because we can't do a genjutsu doesn't mean we can't counter and dispel them. We can even cancel out a genjutsu made by the Mangekyo Sharingan with enough concentration. Our eyes can predict things better than the Sharingan. Our eyes can copy any nin, tai, and genjutsus before we even see it. We can even see the chakra pathways but not the tenketsu. Son, our eyes have only one weakness, but I will not put it in this letter for obvious reasons. Naruto, come to air. I await your arrive, my son. Love. Kushina Uzumaki I. Ka-san, Naruto said as another tear rolled down his face. Are you going to go, Naruto-kun? Hinata said with a sad smile. Yes, I think I will. He said with a smile. See, can I come? She said with hope in her eyes. Not this time. Next time, okay, he said, putting up a sad smile. He knew she would ask this, but he knows she would distract him and he can't have that. She sighed and nodded. Naruto, these scrolls are your father's techniques. The dark blue one is your father's signature move, Rasengan. The white scroll is the Shinshin no Jutsu. The yellow scroll is what made your father famous. The Hiraishin no Jutsu. Naruto put all the scrolls away, heading to the door. Thanks, old man. For everything. Hina-chan, come on. Let's get going. See you later, Hokage-sama. With that they walked out the door. Sarutobi was shocked. Naruto never called him that. He chuckled a little bit but then blew into a full-blown laughter. Ha 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 ha, my boy, you will make a fine Hokage someday. Time shift. 3 minutes. Hot springs. Naruto-kun, why are we here? Hinata asked, lovely tone that held love. Here were somebody here who could teach me. Naruto said with eager. Oh, but wait a moment, Naruto-kun, she said with a blush on her face. Hawa mpph, was all Naruto could say before Hinata put him in a passionate kiss. Naruto stiffened at first but relaxed and kissed her back with equal passion. Hinata brushed her tongue across his teeth. He opens his mouth to allow Hinata to enter his mouth. There were a battle of tongues rolling around every fiber of their mouths. Moans could be heard all over the hot springs that didn't go unheard by a certain pervert. When they finally broke apart, they just stared in each other's eyes, and of course Hinata was in a daze. That was amazing, Naruto-kun, she said with lust in her eyes. Yeah, I enjoyed it, to Hinata-chan, Naruto said while giving Hinata a peck on the lips. Ho ho ho, so did I. They turned around to see. There he was. A man with white hair and face paint scribing down things on a notebook. He had a perverted smile on his face as he giggled as he watched the two. The old Naruto really hated perverts. But unknown to anyone, he was a pervert himself. Not a big pervert, but a pervert nonetheless. Okay, who are you, and give me one good reason why I shouldn't yell, pervert, in a bathhouse full of bathing nude women. Naruto said in slight anger. I mean, come on, some asshole was spying on him making out with his new girlfriend. What a tem. He was actually enjoying us looking at us. I promise you'll pay for that, old man. Naruto stared at the white-haired guy as he got into a pose. I shall tell you my true identity. I am the man who has no enemies in the north, south, east, and west. Not even in the heavens. I am one of the Sanins. White-haired frog tamer. Even a crying baby would stare in awe, the great Jiraiya. That is me, the now proclaimed Jiraiya shouted. Everyone was quiet after that. Naruto and Hinata just hummed to herself and walked away slowly. Jiraiya had a huge sweat drop, but before Naruto could walk fully away, his brain clicked. Wait, Jiraiya, yeah, you're the one who trained my dad. Naruto said calmly, turning around. So I guess you know, huh? Yes, I do, and I need a favor from you. Naruto said, walking up to the old man. What is it? Jiraiya said, lifting an eyebrow. Can you train me in my father's techniques and take me to the village hidden in the air? Jiraiya took a moment to think about this. Okay, fine, but first you must do something for me. Jiraiya said, starting to put on one of his perverted smiles. Naruto smiled and the warm caring Naruto took over. I can take it, believe it. Jiraiya's smile got wider at this. Find me a girl. You know, a babe with nice curves. So all you want is a girl. Jiraiya nodded, waiting for the girl. Naruto cracked his knuckles and made a seal. Ahaha, no problem. Oroku no jutsu. Sexy jutsu, Jir. A massive nosebleed, but not enough to put him to sleep. Wow, nice. Got the craves right and everything. What do you call this jutsu? Jiraiya said in awe. It's called the Oroku no jutsu. Jiraiya was looking over Naruto SP. With awe and a hint of lust. When he was done looking at her, he somehow got a pair of fans and then shouted, perfect 10. Okay Gaki, I'll train you, but Naruto put a figure to her mouth that made her look cute. But what, Jiraiya-sama? At that, Jiraiya lost even more blood. But you have to stay in that form on the way. Naruto burst into a puff of smirk, raising a finger to the old perverted man. What's the matter with you? What kind of pervert are you? Jiraiya gave a cheesy laugh. I'm big pervert one. Naruto lost his ability to speak at that point. Seriously Gaki, I'll do it. Go pack and meet me at the gate in 3 hours. Naruto nodded and grabbed Hinata's hand and started to walk away, but before they went past the female bath hut he yelled one more thing out. See you later, Ero Sanin. Try not to peek in the women's bathhouse anymore. Naruto gave his first foxy smile in a while and walked away. Before Jiraiya could do anything, half-naked women with torches surrounded him. Curse you, Geki. Curse you, was all Jiraiya could say, beaten to the ground. Everyone in Konoha could hear girly screams and laughter. With Naruto and Hinata. Hinata grabbed hold of Naruto's hand and stared, leading him to the Hyuga estate. Hinata, where are we going? Naruto noticed the intense blush on her face but thought nothing of it and moved on. I'm taking you home to pack and to give you your going away gift. She managed to get a hold of herself while not looking at her feet. Naruto kept thinking, going away gift. Did she know I was leaving? But how? Naruto thought to himself as he followed his weird girlfriend. They stopped by the Hyuga estate. Hinata ran inside and came out with a sports bag. Hey Hina-chan, what's in the bag? She stole a kiss and before she left has whispered something barely audible. Secret. The tone of her voice was so seductive it made Naruto a little hard. She grabbed his hands again and ran to Naruto's apartment. Naruto-kun, do you have to go on that trip? Hinata said, holding her lover. Yeah, I do believe it's time. Besides, I bet you family misses you, Hinata. Naruto with the same love and warmth that has always attracted her. While I'm gone, please train well. I want you to be as strong as possible, Hinata smiled. Okay Naruto-kun, but you promised to do good too. Putting on his trademark fox smile and said, of course Hina-chan. 45 minutes later. Naruto-kun, I'm really going to miss you. Hinata said with a playful pout. I'll really miss you too, but I really have to go. Naruto said pitifully. I understand Naruto-kun. Hinata said sadly. I promise Hinata. Naruto said while shaking with a bit of rage. Hinata looked up at her lover in confusion. I'll make Neji pay for what he did to you. He had no right. Hinata was about to say something until she heard a puffing noise from behind. Well Naruto, it's time to go. Naruto nodded and not knowing he was late. He gave Hinata one of his foxy smiles that always made her feel good. Hinata walked over to Naruto and gave him a kiss. I love you Naruto-kun, please be safe. Before he could say anything he heard a perverted giggle from behind him. He looked behind him to see Jiraiya scribbling in a notebook. Oh please don't stop on my account. Jiraiya said with a perverted smile. A vein could be seen on Naruto and Hinata's head. Ero Sanin, I'm going to kick your ass. People though, out the village could see a white and yellow blur speeding across Konoha. Hinata stood at Naruto's door watching her boyfriend running off into the distant. Oh Naruto-kun, Hinata thought to herself with a giggle. It's been about 3 weeks since Naruto and Jiraiya came to air and started Naruto's training. Kushina put Naruto though hell. Every day he woke up at 4 in the morning. He did his morning workout, which included 500 sit-ups, 200 push-up, and 10 laps around the village. It takes about 3 hours to finish because of the gravity seal's place on him. Naruto starts his training with chakra control at 7:30 am and finish at 9 am. 9 am to 12 he worked on his bloodline. It seems that Sharingan has 3 ways of activation. 1. Fear. It's the weakest and common way of activation. If anyone activated it like that, then you no longer have to use hand size for jutsu. The next way is at a life or death situations. This allows the user to move at the speed of light. The third is rare. The person must feel so many painful emotions at one time for the bloodline to active. It allows the person to copy jutsu and see the chakra pathways. It also allows the person to speed up the body at a slow pace. The person may also use light jutsu and dark jutsu. Only 2 people who are alive have active this level, Kushina Uzumaki and Naruto Uzumaki. The last of the Sharingan line. Naruto's grown a lot in short amount of time. His outfit changed as well. Naruto now wore a dark blue trench coat with black baggy pants. He also wore a skin-tight blood red shirt. He also wore black sandals, and he also replaced the blue cloth, also wore black fingerless metal-plated gloves that has a seal in the middle of the gloves. The seal said, light. Naruto was 4 foot and now he's 5 foot 2. Naruto's hair now reached to his shoulder blades. Naruto has also changed his personality. He's now calm and cool-headed. He no longer had the whisker-like marks, they were almost completely gone. He's still the ramen-loving, Hokage wannabe, happy-go-lucky kid everyone knows and love. He's just a little more laid back. At 12:30 though 2 p.m., worked on genjutsu with Jiraiya. 2 p.m. through 4 p.m. worked on ninjutsu. 4 p.m. though 6 p.m. worked on taijutsu. Finally 7 p.m. though 9 p.m. worked on tactics. Naruto's been doing that same routine for weeks. Day by day Naruto's stats changed. Now his stats are Naruto Kazama Uzumaki, level 12. Bloodline, 4 out of 10. Attack power, 6 out of 10. Speed power, 6 out of 10. Stamina, 10 out of 10. Chakra control, 7 out of 10. Chakra capacity, 15 out of 20. IQ, 7 out of 10. Techniques used often, AD remember used often, wink wink. Closing parenthesis. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, Shunshin no Jutsu, Body Flicker Technique. Do. Ton. Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu, Earth Release, Inner Decapitation. Kaden. Karyu Enden, Fire Release. Fire Dragon Flame Missile, Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken Shadow Clone, Bunshin Debakua, Clone Great Explosion. Kuchio's no Jutsu, Summoning Technique, Tsuchi Bunshin no Jutsu, Earth Clone Technique, Hari Jizo, Needle Guardian. Hinjutsu, Sen Kami Ma, Light Release, Praise of the Gods, High. Enjutsu, Olraiden, Dark Release, Obligation. Naruto come on we're late. Jiraiya shouted. Yuki just shook her head at her son, okay, you know the plan right? Kushina asked. Jiraiya and Naruto nodded. Okay, let's get going. Naruto remember, the main focuses of these exams aren't one for power. This exam is more on strategies. Naruto nodded his head, eyes full of determination. Kushina, Jiraiya and Naruto disappeared in a powerful wind. At the arena in the stands. So Hinata, where do you want to seat? Kiba said. Hinata looked around and saw a lot of people. Hey Kiba, Hinata-san over here. A blonde girl in an orange top shouted. Hey Ino-san, how are you? Hinata said looking at her blonde friend. Sakura-san, are you okay? Hinata pitied the girl. She has never seen Naruto so mad herself, it scared them. His face didn't show pain, his eyes did. Sakura and Kakashi sighed, yes he's there too, I'm fine Hinata. Do you think he will forgive me? Sakura said with her head down. Hinata sat down, eyed her and looked her in the eyes and said, I know he will, ending with a smile. You know Hinata, it seems you have a lot of courage and you don't stutter anymore. Ino said, giving her a smirk. Ta blushed crimson and for the first time in a month, she stuttered. What are you talking about? Hinata said, trying to play innocent. It didn't help when her face was on fire. Yes Hinata, I have to agree you're glowing today. Kakashi said while smiling under his mask. Unfortunately they never got their answer as all their friends and teachers started joining their little group. Everyone's there as in, Choji, Lee, Guy, Tenten, ECT, everyone who's fighting are down in the arena. I'm skipping the speeches with the Hokage and Genma. Okay everyone that's not fighting will go to the upper level. The first match is Naruto Uzumaki vs Neji Hyuga. Gamma looked around. Since Naruto Uzumaki is not here he is Gamma stopped as a giant tornado descended to the battlefield. When the tornado subdued, 3 people were standing back to back. In the stands earlier. Hey, where's Naruto? Kiba said out loud. Everyone looked around for the blonde idiot. Yeah, where is he? Ino said a little worried. Naruto versus Neji, they all was getting worried. Where is he? Sakura said hopping for any god to help him get here. They all saw 3 people come in with a gust of wind. Hinata could only smile. That's just like you Naruto. Always being too flashy. Is that Naruto? Ino said while licking her lips. Sakura had a blush on her face. Her inner Sakura was drooling at the mouth. Man I wouldn't mind riding that. Cha. Inner Sakura shouted giving Sakura another crimson shade. My god Naruto's hot. Every girl below the age of 17 had that thought in mind. Dobi you're late. Ironic isn't it? Naruto turned around to see his rival and best friend Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto gave one of his foxy smiles. Sorry about that, so am I late. Sasuke just sighed, you barely made it. Sasuke looked up at the 2 adults behind Naruto. Who are they? Before he could say anything the Sandaime appeared before them with a smile on his wrinkled face. Long time no see Rizakage. Sandaime said. Everyone was shocked to see one of the legendary shinobi was here in Konoha. Orochimaru was sweating he couldn't beat the old man and the Rizakage. Not to mention her bodyguard in the blue kimono. Jiraiya as the bodyguard. He was seriously hoping they wouldn't interfere. What brings you here? The Sandaime never thought he would see her again. I came to see my son fight in the exams. She said putting a hand on Naruto's head. This was the second shock of the day. The demon brat's mom was the cage of the most powerful hidden village in the world. So in a word they were scared. Ka-san, Chin-san. I don't mean to be rude but I have a match to win. Chin got the hint and puffed up to where the Kazakage is. Unknown by anyone Chin made a shadow clone and made it go to the stands. I will start calling Jiraiya Chin for now. Also the shadow clone puffed back to look like Jiraiya. Naruto stepped up to the center of the arena facing Neji. You look like you have something to say. Neji said with a smirk. Naruto closed his eyes. I said it before. Naruto's Sharingan went ablaze that shocked and amazed everyone. This was his proof. His eyes proof that he's the Rizakage's son. I vow to win, Naruto said as a little bloodlust rolled off him. Naruto's face was completely serious but yet emotionless. He was calm and confident. He looked just like the 4th Hokage. His eyes promised one thing. Pain and lots of it. Cage both. You have one chance. So make it good. Kushina thought to herself. Stands. You can do it Naruto-kun, Hinata thought to herself. Down at the arena. You'll pay for hurting Hinata-chan, Naruto thought to himself. Let the first battle of the Chunin exams begin. The Byakugan is able to see in 360 degrees. The Byakugan can detect anything around them in a 50-meter radius. The Byakugan is a combination of X-ray and infrared vision. The Byakugan has the ability to see the inner chakra coil system, which is the key for them to use the gentle fist style. The Byakugan is able to see individual chakra points, allowing the user to shut off the opponent's chakra flow completely. If this happens, the opponent cannot perform techniques that require chakra. Warning: do not get hit with this attack. The only known weakness is a small blind spot near the back of the neck. Data completed. Naruto smirked and started to formulate a plan to win the battle. Watch closely Hanabi. There's no one else who has inherited the bloodline limit of the Hyugas as strong as him. Your older sister does not even compare with him, Hiashi Hyuga said as gazed down at his nephew. Hanabi the 7-year-old girl looked at her father in mild shock. Even more than my sister. Hanabi said, not really believing him. Most likely more than you. Hanabi eyes widen at that. She gazed at Neji for a moment but then gazed at her father and said, "Can Neji win?" Her father didn't answer for a moment then said something that shocked her a lot more than before. "I don't know Hanabi. Uzumaki holds the Shikengan. This may be a battle not even the Byakugan can win." Hiashi said solemnly. "You will not win. Fate has already determined that I will win," Neji said, trying to get the blonde mad. It worked. Naruto sprinted towards Neji in a slow pass that looked like Naruto hasn't improved at all. Neji, paying no attention to that, just dodged all of the punches sent towards him. "What the shrimp?" hasn't improved in a bored tone. Sasuke only smirked as he watched his friend charged foolishly at Neji. "Naruto's not that dumb. He must have a plane," Sasuke thought with a smirk. Neji had enough of this and put a palm strike in Naruto's chest only to be blown away by a huge explosion. Everybody was surprised and confused at how Naruto exploded, leaving smoke to cover the arena in smoke. When the smoke cleared, there stood Neji clutching his left arm as blood streamed from it. Neji was breathing hard. He was confused but assumed he won and tried to put up a smirk but failed. "In the stains. Where's Naruto?" Sakura said, looking for the blonde. The genins were looking frantically for him. They wound not except he just die. He's Naruto for Kami's sakes. He doesn't know how to just die. The only ones who did not seem to worry was the Jonins. Back down in the arena. "Examiner. I win," Neji said as he limped back up the doors but froze as he saw Naruto looking at him with a smug smile at the entrance of the steps. "We're not thinking of leaving, are we? You haven't touched me yet." Neji was sweating. How are you alive? You blew yourself up unless it was." Neji didn't even finish his sentence. Naruto only smirked and said, "Bunshin Daibakua. Clone great explosion." "Neji, your eyes are good but you can't tell the difference between a shadow clone and the real deal. You can't win against my eyes. I know all of your jutsus, for example," Naruto said, taking out 3 shuriken and throwing them at Neji. Neji only took out a kunai, planning to swat them away. He cursed as Naruto made a few hand seals and shouting "Shuriken Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shuriken. Shadow clone," making the 3 shuriken into 30. "Kuso, he's giving me no choice." Neji started to spin, causing a blue and red dome to appear, the red because of the blood from his arm. Naruto only smirked as he said one word that shocked the tree Hyugas in the crowd. "Ha ha ha, Kaden." Neji started to slow down. That gave Naruto the perfect chance to put his fist in Neji's gut and jumped back to gain some distance. "Neji, I told you I would win. What you did to Hinata, I will not let that go unjustified." Neji sneered at Naruto with the utmost hate. "What do you know about me? It's her fault my father was killed." Neji told Naruto everything about the seal and what happened to her father. It pissed Naruto off at how he could just blame his problems on Hinata like that. In the stains, Hinata looked down at the floor trying to hold back her tears. It wasn't her fault. She was only 3 years old. Hiashi only mentally sighed. He did not wish this on his nephew. It seems he still holds hatred on the main family. "Now do you see why I hate her, and now I'll end this. You were within my divination," Neji said, using all his power to move his arm. Naruto didn't even look at him. If somebody looked closely they would see his eyebrows twitching. Hake Rokujuyansho, Divination Field, 64 strikes. Hake 2 strikes, 4 strikes, 8 strikes, 16 strikes, 22 strikes, 64 strikes. All of them missed horribly. Naruto dodged all of his attacks like they were nothing, but he even had the gall to do it with his eyes closed. "Neji," Naruto said with bloodlust rolling of him that made everyone except the cages shiver in fright. "I hate people like you. Blaming your problems on someone who had no say in the matter. People like you make me sick. You even made up a stupid excuse for your actions. You blamed it on something that doesn't even exist. You use Hinata as an outlet for your own pain, and for that," Naruto opened his eyes. The black and purple in his eyes took on the role to be like fire while the swirl spun at incredible speed. "You will pay." Naruto made a shadow clone and both made seals and stopped at the same time. Neji stopped complaining about fate and how it can't be changed. "A wise man once told me when a captured bird grows wiser they try to open the cage with their beaks." Neji stared at him like the fate of the world hung in the balance. They don't give up, because they want to fly again. Chin, remember is Jiraiya shadow clone, smirked at what he heard. Oh, so I'm wise now, about time he gave me a damn compliment. You and me are different, Neji. You aren't a dropout, but just because you aren't one, doesn't mean you can't be beaten by one. This match is over, Neji, both Naruto said, thrusting his hands out and saying, Futon, Daitapa wind release, great breakthrough. Kaiten, Gokaku no Jutsu, fire release, great fireball technique. The two jutsu mixed together, colliding with Neji full force. When the jutsu was finished, Neji was unconscious and it seemed he got out of the way a little but got burnt pretty badly. Genma looked over at the T-Wo and raised his hand and said, winner Naruto Uzumaki. In the stands. In the cage both. It seems Naruto has gotten much stronger. Look at him, after all that he's not even breathing hard. The third said with a smile. Kushina put on a big smile and said, what did you expect, he is his father's son. The two cages shared a light chuckle. Orochimaru looked at the blonde with lust in his eyes. Fag. I can't wait to get my hands on those eyes. You will be mine, Naruto-kun. It seems they're going to attack when Sasuke and Gaara are going to fight. That means I have to be ready. Naruto thought as he was heading to the stains. Hey Naruto, where are you going? Shikamaru asked the blonde. Naruto only gave the boy a foxy smile and ran to the stands. In stands. Man, Naruto has gotten really powerful, and in just a month that's amazing. Ino said as she watched the medics pick up Neji. Yeah, he has. Where did he get that much power? Sasuke said while grinding his teeth. Oh, that's easy. Naruto said, walking to the little group. I eat all of my greens. Naruto said with a feral grin. Before Naruto even knew it, he was wrapped up in a loving kiss. Naruto didn't even need to know by the grope he felt throughout the kiss to tell who this was. Ha ha ha. I missed you to Hinata Heim. Just couldn't wait till I got back, huh? Naruto said with a goofy smile. Hinata blushed at that comment. I missed you, Naruto-kun. I'm glad you're back, she said, never letting the blonde go, as if afraid he might disappear. Naruto-kun promises me you won't ever leave me. Naruto frowned at that and gave a sigh. I can't promise that, Hinata Heim. A ninja's life is very risky, and I'm going to have to leave time to time. Hinata gave a big sigh and smiled at Naruto. I know, I was just in the moment. Yuto smiled at the girl before he heard a coughing sound from behind her. Hinata seemed to jump out of her skin at the cough while Naruto put on a sour face. Well, at least we know why she's so happy. Kakashi said with a perverted giggle. Yeah, so when did you guys get together? Ino said, a little miffed that she couldn't get as close to the blonde like she wanted. Hinata let a blush run over her face. She had to stop herself from poking her fingers. We got together a month ago. Hinata said with a shy smile. Why didn't you tell me? Hinata. He was more than upset but didn't let it show. He liked Hinata a lot. But never said anything because of her crush on Naruto. Well, I've been kind of busy lately, Kiba-kun. She said in a whisper. Naruto looked down at her now that he was taller than her. He could see that she did not like where the questions were going. I think that's enough questions for one day. Naruto said as Hinata smiled as thanks. Dope, who gave you power? I need that type of power to beat my brother. You will tell me, Sasuke said, looking at the blonde in a killer glare. Any lesser being would have cowered under it, but not Naruto. He just gave a sigh of annoyance. Don't you have a match to get on with? Naruto said as he looked down in the arena. He saw Gaara standing there looking quite bored. Sasuke only glared, that translated as, I'm not done yet, but never. The Les jumped down into the arena to face Gaara. Everyone took his or her seat as Naruto sat next to Hinata, clearly pissing Kiba off. Down in the stadium, you can't really hope to beat me. You know what IHA? Sasuke said, letting his entire ego to show. Gaara just stood there unmoving. I don't care who you are. You have the same eyes as me, so you are worth to be fed to my mother. Gaara said in the same dead tone he used since he was young. Sasuke scoffed at him like he was nothing and charged into attack. For one, I'm not going into detail about everyone's fight. Not cause I'm lazy, it just that we seen it before. So what's the point? Up in the stands, Naruto watched Sasuke fight and couldn't help but give look to Lee. He worked so hard to get at the level he's at now, and Sasuke Tem shows up and do it like it's nothing. I'm sorry, Lee, Naruto thought as stared at his big-eyed friend. Wow, Sasuke-kun has gotten really strong. He's going to win this for sure. Ino said, looking at Sasuke pound away at Gaara's sand dome. I don't think so, Ino. Even though Sasuke did have Gaara on the defense, he can't do anything now that he's in that dome of sand. Naruto said, looking at Sasuke run up the wall and grab his hand. Kakashi smirked. He knew what Sasuke was going to do next. I don't think so. If that stance is any indication, Sasuke will bust into that dome. Naruto looked at the sea. Appi Nin and turned his attention back to the fight. Hatake-san, I hope for Sasuke's sake that you're right. Kakashi looked saddened at the way his name was used but turned his attention back to the fight. Blue lightning found his way up Sasuke's hand. His whole hand was covered in it, and the sound of chirping birds made its way to the crowd's ears. Just as the lightning seemed to move wildly around his hand, he ran down the wall of the stadium. What is that? Lee asked his teacher. That Lee is Kakashi only. Original jutsu. Its name comes from the sound it makes of thousands of chirping birds. Its name is Chidori, 1000 birds. There was complete silence as the thunder blade cut clean through the sand dome like it was nothing. What is this warm feeling? It's wet, Gaara said inside the dome as he put his hand on his chest to see what it was. Blood, my blood. Ah, Gaara yelled as Sasuke felt the sand tighten his grip on his arm. He tried to pull it out and he succeeded but didn't expect another hand to come with it. The hand flopped on the ground as if it was a fish. What the hell is that? Sakura said as she watched the hand get sucked back into the dome. But before anyone knew it, the dome exploded. People could only watch in intense fear. Naruto let go of Hinata and jumped to his feet. He could only say one word that could describe what's going on. Damn, what the hell is that? Sasuke thought as he flinched at the sight inside of the dome. A single golden eye with a star-like pupil in the middle glared back at Sasuke. All Sasuke could feel is an intense feel of hate. Genma, the Jonin who was the referee of the tournament, looked around getting ready for battle. What is this felling? Everyone watched as the sand dome cracked open as it fell to dust. Gaara stood, holding his wound. He was breathing hard, almost like he was trying to control something with all his might. No way, he is wounded, Kankuro said as he stood there in amazement. Temari bit her lip as she gazed down at her little brother. His shell broke prematurely. This bad, Temari said as she and Kankuro looked down in fear. In the cage box, Kushina looked on in woe. Ender as she could sense the demon inside of the boy. She turned to Jiraiya and nodded. He understood and started gathering charka slowly so not to gather suspicion. With Naruto. Naruto-kun, what is that? Hinata whispered to her love. Naruto didn't say anything, but he also started gathering charka slowly. Hinata, everything will be okay, just relax. Naruto said, gaining a cold look in his eyes as he got ready for combat. Hinata nodded as she understood as she felt him tense. Somewhere in the stands an Anbu made a hand seal as all around the stadium white feathers started to fall. It begins. With Naruto Pav Naruto. I looked around as he could see Kiba and Hinata fall asleep. Hinata still hurt so I don't really see her stopping any genjutsu, but Kiba. I don't understand why he couldn't dispel the jutsu. I dispelled the jutsu as he laid Hinata down on the chairs. I could see Guy and Kakashi dispel the jutsu. I could also other shonobis do the same thing. I looked to Sakura and D found her dispelling the technique as Ino and Choji were knocked out. And Naruto Pav. Baki looked around the arena to try and find the Anbu who made the jutsu. A genjutsu. Is Kabuto on the move already? Then they will almost surely, Baki said, sneaking away. In the cage box. It begins. Orochimaru thought as he turned his head slowly to Hiruzen and Kushina. When the three cages made contact, Orochimaru's eyes widened as he chuckled and said, "Let's begin." His two bodyguards sprint forward, throwing two smoke bombs on the ground, creating a veil of smoke around the cage box. With Naruto. Naruto, you ready? Chin said as a giant snake smashed into the arena. Kakashi and the other nin stood in shock as it destroyed part of the arena. You're on, Naruto. Naruto nodded as he activated his Shakengan. I got it. Hinjutsu, Ulraiden, Dark Release, Obligation. Naruto yelled as he widened his eyes as a dark vortex surrounded the snake and sucked it in. The vortex faded away as Naruto's eyes stared to bleed. Naruto, you need to have more control over that. You could go blind. Here, Chin said, giving Naruto a solder pill. This it'll help. Naruto nodded and gave his thanks. Naruto, you know what to do. I leave the rest to you, Chin said as he puffed in a veil of smoke. Naruto nodded as he took a deep breath to calm his nerves. Okay. Operation Kill Gaara. In the cage box. Cage, what is the meaning of this? Hiruzen said as Kushina stood up and got into a defensive stance as the Hokage's bodyguard came running up, only to be struck with 2 kunai to the chest. Hokage-sama, please, run away, as his left dying breath. Orochimaru came right behind Hiruzen with a kunai to his neck ready to stab him at any given time and jumped to the roof. Kushina nodded her head to Chin as they shunshin body flicker to the roof. The 2 sand nin came out of their cloths as they turned out to be sound nins. They were wearing the standardized Oto nin outfit, much like what Orochimaru always wears. So, it's finally our turn, a man with 6 arms said as he smirked at the confusion on the faces of the leaf nins. I've got a lot of stress from all that maintaining formation thing. Can't wait to cut loose. A man with a head coming out of his back. You all smell like shit, the only girl of the team said. The red head could only turn her nose at the smell. The biggest one with a mohawk yelled out, cut it out, we're teammates. There's no need for violence right now among ourselves. Orochimaru saw a few ninjas coming his way. He looked towards his 4 subordinates and nodded. The 4Q Uwakli made the snake hand sigh as they cried out, Ninpu, Shishi Engine. Ninja Art, Quad Violet Flame Field. A purple box-like field surrounded the cages. An unfortunate Anbu slammed into the field and instantaneously burned into flames. It's useless for them to try and get in her. Your fate is in my hands, Orochimaru said behind his costume. I didn't expect the sand to betray Konoha, Hiruzen said as he truthfully didn't expect that. He expect Orochimaru, yes, but not the sand. Orochimaru chuckled as he said, a treaty is merely camouflage to relax an opponent. The petty mock battles ends here. Starting now, history will be made, the fall of Konohagakure. Hiruzen frowned as he said, are you trying to start a war? Of course, Orochimaru said as he narrowed his eyes. You should avoid conflicts and seek a resolution through negotiation. There's still time to stop this cage, Hiruzen said, trying to stop the fighting peacefully. Orochimaru closed his eyes, finding this was a good time than any to show who he really is. Perhaps when you grow old, you become used to peace, Sarutobi-sensei. Orochimaru said in his normal voice. High on to what was going on. My, when Gaara did his thing, I was planning on stealing Sasuke-kun for myself. It seems that I cannot have everything my way now, can I? Orochimaru said with a sick tone to his voice that can make little kittens drop dead. So that was what you after. You want Konoha and Sasuke. Orochimaru just snorted at the mention of Konoha. You think that Konoha is that important? When Gaara awakens completely, there will be no Konoha. Today you will die and I will win, Orochimaru said with a laid-back tone. We do not know the results until the very end, now do we? Kushina. The old man smirked as he got out of Orochimaru's clutches. No, we don't, Kushina yelled as she came from below the floor, almost slicing Orochimaru in half. Orochimaru barely made it away from the attack. If he wasn't so unnaturally flexible, he would have been done in. I wasn't expecting you, Kushina-chan, but then again you always had a knack for popping up where you don't belong, Orochimaru said, sneering at the redhead. Hiruzen chuckled as he glared at Orochimaru. I don't know why you're doing this. You don't have any goals or motives. Orochimaru chuckled and said, no, I do have a goal. The Sharingan is what I desire, it will be the destruction of Konoha. Hiruzen tuned as he smirked to his ex-student as he watched as he threw his hat away. You haven't changed. You're still the fool who wants to learn every jutsu in the world, Hiruzen said as he got ready for battle. Enough of the talking, I believe we have a fight to begin. And with that, the fight was on. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next video.